This might just be my favorite Exo-Force set of all time. I frickin' love this LEGO theme. Your Bionicle will always be my favorite theme ever, but Exo-Force was a massive part of my childhood. And one of the best Exo-Force sets is Bridgewalker vs. White Lightning, an amazing David and Goliath style set which features a battle for the ages. The terrifying Bridgewalker versus the speedy White Lightning. This set is just incredible. It's so well made, it's insanely fun to play with. It's got it all. And in today's video, I want to break down why I love this set, and I want to showcase some ways that you could use the pieces that come in this set to build your own LEGO creations. So let's dive in and check out this beauty. Beginning with White Lightning. This mech is piloted by my personal favourite Exo-Force character, Hiato. He's an amazing dude with his red anime hair and his fun, double-sided facial print. The other side boasts a very joyous expression to match his personality. Certainly a happier look compared to the double-sided expressions of some of his other teammates. Previously we've seen him in smaller mechs, much like the one that comes in the set, Gate Assault, which was a cool mech, but it was tiny. I'm glad they gave Hiato a mech that was pretty much the same size as some of the other mechs that came out in the first wave of sets. And look at this thing, it's cool. 2 guns for hands, a very, very streamlined appearance that gives you the sense that this thing would move with great speed. It's dope. The armor plating around the side of the cockpit, it's an interesting technique. But it goes beyond just looking pretty, it has a different purpose. The aim is that you can use the cannon piece that comes on Bridgewalker, and you launch that projectile up against this armor. It's not the easiest thing to hit it properly, but when you hit it in just the right spot, well, turns out you can knock out that bit of armor, which wasn't the intention. If you hit it in just the right spot, eventually you knock it off. It's a nice way of simulating battle damage. We don't really get much battle damage in official LEGO sets. Bit of an uncommon thing. That's cool. Now, probably the worst part about this set has to be the old-fashioned disc launcher. The idea is dope, and it certainly looks cool, but when you try to launch this thing, it just doesn't really work. The discs love to fly out of the top, so you actually end up losing more of them than you actually fire. And sometimes you actually have trouble launching them, which is a shame. This is great in theory, but in execution, not so much. Still, hey, it's nice to see another entry into the LEGO firing weapon lexicon. Even the less functional ones are still pretty cool. The set does kind of force you to have the arm always in an upright position like this, because lowering it down, the discs tend to fall out. There is a pretty simple fix for this, however. When we take a look at the discs up close, you can see that they have these holes in the center, and if you want, you can place a 4-long bar through these holes, and doing so allows the discs to become one big solid chunk. Now, putting it in the launcher means you can't fire them anymore, but if you just want to display the set and not have the discs fly out all the time, this allows you to do so. And hey, this is a figure that is certainly worth displaying, because it's frickin' beautiful. But it's nothing compared to the might of Bridgewalker. I mean, just look at this monstrous mech. There's almost something alien about this design. Its posable head, it kind of resembles the shape of a xenomorph from the movie Alien. The interesting and distinct design of the legs, it gives a harder and threatening edge. And just look at these humongous guns on either side of the vehicle. Beautifully over the top, and so fantastical, but also somewhat realistic at the same time. If you're curious, each one of these arms has a pretty good amount of posability. It's nice to see this level of movement on multiple parts of the creation. The legs do have some degree of movement. Well, kind of. They can do whatever this is, which looks a little bit strange, honestly. I mean, what is this? But yeah, if you want, you can kind of finagle the legs to stomp forward and back, which it does simulate movement somewhat well. I like it. And taking a look at the armor on these legs, it's pretty exceptional. I feel like a modern LEGO set would armor this up even more, making it super compact. Making it sturdy, making it very robust. But remember, this set came out in 2006. What you're seeing here was state-of-the-art back in the day. Although, it still does kind of hold up today, to some degree. I'm a big fan of these yellow caution lines on the feet as well. And the whole set, it has a large amount of stickers. Yeah, I know, stickers are the bane of every AFOL's existence. Placing so many of them can be a pain. But Exo-Force stickers look so cool. Look at the technology-inspired designs. There's like barcodes, there's numbers, there's letters. Even the text on Hayato's Mech, and some of the other mechanical-focused iconography. It's stunning. It adds so much to this design. Yeah, there's something about it that makes this theme feel unlike anything else. The anime influence is delightful. And some of these stickers give the theme a really hard edge. It's gritty, it's dark, it's cool. But back to Bridgewalker. One of my favourite details is the inclusion of some red eyes on the front of the machine. There are actually some light bricks on the back of the mech that allow the eyes to glow. They also allow the clear tubes to glow as well. Sadly, the batteries in my light bricks no longer work, but you can see on the box art how that would look. So yeah, it's a fun play feature, but I like this for another reason. Giving the mech eyes and kind of like an indent that could be seen as a mouth, it personifies this a little bit more. It kind of brings it to life. Sure, Bridgewalker is just a mech, it's not a living creature or an actual sentient robot. But additions like this do make it feel more realistic. It gives the mech a little bit more personality. It's like when you see nose art on the sides of wartime planes. It strikes fear into your enemies, and it makes the plane look way cooler. And I feel the same thing about the pseudo-facial features of Bridgewalker. Without it, the mech would just kind of be boring. Putting this on makes it even more menacing. Oh, and of course, this mech is piloted by the robot's evil leader, Mecha-1. The gold colour scheme with some subtle hints of black marbled into the torso. It's wonderful. He's a very fitting big bad for Exo-Force. I love him. And included in this set are two Silver Devastator robots. This is the same design as Mecha-1, just with a bit of a colour swap. And these look great as well. Each one of these pilots is seen on the turrets on the side of Bridgewalker. It's nice. So that's the set. But what about the pieces that are included in this set? How can they be used to create your own custom LEGO creations? Well, for starters, you get some of these white wedge pieces in White Lightning. Without the stickers, how could they be used in a mock? Tino Patron shows off an amazing angel creation that places these around the waist to form a very elegant skirt design. It's great to see a few of these pieces wrapping around the waist like this. Something very heroic about this mock. You also get some of these wedge pieces in a larger size. And this is also a brilliant element for mocks. Joxon shows us how to build with this piece on his creation. He's got two of them in yellow on the top of the chest. They do make for some pretty good chest armor. Oh hey, and the thighs. They also use some of those wedge pieces we were just talking about. Look at that. Both of these pieces on the one mock. A couple different ways that you could use them. Of course, you'd have to do this in white instead of yellow, but yeah, it's the idea that counts. We do get a few beautiful Bionicle pieces included in this set, including these black Visorak foot pieces. One mock that uses these in a couple different ways is Shadow by Shadow Gear 6335. We can see one of them on each of the legs. They create some really sleek and sick looking armor. And then we've got two more of them on the torso, just kind of on the edges. I like this a lot. It makes for a great torso design. Some good thinking. This set also includes 14 of these barrel pieces. These are all used for blasters in the set. It's great that you get so many of them in one place. So why not use them like Mitch Henry has done right here? Turn them into a giant Gatling gun. If you're in need of a sick weapon for your latest Bionicle creation, well, this piece is going to be pretty helpful. You can just do so much with it. The head of Bridgewalker includes this large wedge piece in black with a very pretty lime sticker on it. Dylan Meaves uses this exact sticker on a mock called Uriel. I really dig this alien and kind of otherworldly vibe. It's almost holy and angelic. It's interesting. I would have thought that these stickers would not work in this kind of context, but they really do. It's beautiful. Stickers can be such a good way of upgrading your creations. And finally, you get a couple of these black 1x8 hinge plates. It's a lovely piece. And I really enjoy how Mathadrone has used them. Get a bunch of them and use them to create brilliant feathers on a wing design. Isn't that stunning? This is a really nice part use. So that's some ideas for how you could use these pieces. But why don't we do something special? Let's take a look at a revamp of Bridgewalker. A builder called Zakar Iron has reconstructed this mech, making it more heavily armored, making it taller, and making it look better. I mentioned before how some areas of this mech were a little bit dated. You know, like when you look at the back of the legs, there's a lot of exposed Technic beams, and areas that are just a lot less armored. Yeah, I don't really think this is a big deal. They still look good. But if this set came out today in 2025, you know that LEGO would armor this up way more, leaving no gaps at all. If anything, it might actually look pretty similar to this mock. So yeah, it's beautiful to see super dense, heavy-duty armor like this. It makes Bridgewalker feel even more threatening. You know, surely no weapon could pierce this powerful armor, right? Another new addition that just makes a lot of sense is this cockpit. Putting a kind of cage around Mecha 1, it's a nice touch. Because when you think about it, he's pretty exposed in the set. He could easily be hit, or I don't know, with enough of a jolt, he could fly out of the cockpit. It's not that practical. At least this design protects him and locks him in a bit more. The revisited blasters look beautiful. The extra amount of posability is just delightful. This is sensational. What a great reimagining of Bridgewalker. So I hope you enjoyed this deep dive today. Hopefully it was inspiring to see how you could use some of these pieces, and hopefully it was just refreshing to see something a little different. An Exo-Force review. If you want to see more, let me know. Thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.